在今天的节目当中呢，我们继续为大家邀请到就是旧金山州立大学 Asian American Studies 的张华耀张教授，再一次欢迎他。Hello, Professor. This year, 2024 is a big year. Yeah, with the election coming in a few months. So, what do you think about our country in terms of hate or violence?
Yeah, I'm really concerned about this election, and I think it's really significant for the Chinese community, for the Asian community to go out and vote, because, again, as I said, I think internationally, in the U.S., the discussions are about China as a threat, as America's greatest enemy, and that really impacts the Chinese American community and the Asian American community. We've actually have studies now that show that when politicians make China the enemy, then other Americans see Chinese Americans as the enemy. They see Asian Americans as the enemy. And not only do they have that attitude, but they actually behaviorally treat us like the enemy. They take it out on us. And so how politicians talk about China, how they talk about Chinese in the U.S. is really significant because it then sets the tone for the broader nation.
So talk about the politician. According to the Chronicle, San Francisco Chronicle, they say like a Chinese politician in San Francisco is winning right now. So what do you think about this problem?
I think it's always shifting, and so it's true that we have less elected leaders, but I think there's a lot of other ways that Chinese Americans can get involved and be politically active, and I think as it changes, then more people will vote, more people will raise their voice about particular issues, and I think the issues have changed since COVID for the Chinese American community, and that's why you see new groups emerging and new leadership developing. So it's good that we have, our community is diverse, so it's good that we have a diversity of leaders emerging.
So in terms of protecting like safety and the right of the Asian in U.S., what do you think is the best approach?
Yeah, again, education really is a good safety measure. Again, as we learn about each other, then we're more protected. Another way that I think improves community safety is that in our neighborhoods, we're living in the midst of multiracial communities. And what's really helpful and what's been, again, research evidence-based effective to lower racism and lower hate is to have groups work together on common goals. So what's really helpful is, let's say, a neighborhood playground is in disrepair. It really is helpful for groups to come together to work for a common goal. And for me, working towards common goals as neighbors, working as common goals as San Franciscans is really powerful in breaking down barriers and bringing groups together.
You talk about the education. I want a more detail. Like when we educate the people, is the earlier the better, or waiting for they in the college to take your class?
Yeah, obviously earlier the better. That even other research has shown that when Chinese parents talk to their kids about race and racism, to raise the idea of being bullied because you may be different, those types of conversations actually are really good for the young people. So as early as possible, you tell them to be proud about being Chinese American. So when people make fun of them for being Chinese, the children won't be as badly affected. They wouldn't be as depressed or anxious. So having conversations about race and racism, having conversations about these hard things with your children really has been proven to be helpful for your kids. So yeah, protecting our students, building community safety starts early.
So every time we interview you, we want to hear the story. So do you have any story can encourage the people to speak out?
Right. So I talk a lot about our young people, how they're becoming more aware and how they're really becoming active in fighting racism. So there's one group called AAPI Youth Rising, and they started in Berkeley as middle schoolers, and they organized a 1,200-person rally to stop Asian hate. And now they actually have 30 chapters across the nation.
Wow.
And they're all fighting for ethnic studies. Here's one quick story at my son's high school. A lot of times, Asian kids get mixed up. And so maybe there's a David Chang and a David Chan. And David Chan threw a water balloon at another kid's car. And so that kid reported David Chan to the counselors. But instead of David Chan getting in trouble, the counselor pulled in David Chang and reprimanded him and yelled at him for throwing the water balloon. But David Chang realized, oh, it's a mistaken identity. They never know who we are. They always mix us up. David Chang wasn't worried because he didn't do it. He was innocent. So after the counselor rebuked him and punished him, David Chang just looked at the counselor and said, "Stop AAPI hate, man." And so now our young people feel confident enough that they know when they experience racism, but they say, "Stop, that's wrong." So even these microaggressions about mispronouncing Chinese names or mixing up Chinese people, that's a teacher's microaggression against our students. And I think our students are standing up. That's what I hope our community will do as well.
Thank you for sharing this story, and thank you for your time. Hopefully, we can have another interview with you very soon, another 2 years. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
thanks,
so
Aaron.
much. Thank you. 非常谢谢各位观众朋友收看，谢谢。